Happy Monday, everybody. So, with that being said, one thing I love about Mondays, because Mondays can be a bit tougher, I will admit, I look forward to my Spotify music playlist. So, if you have Spotify, let me know. I'm sure you love it like I do. But they deliver something called Discover Weekly every Monday. So, you get a whole new list of music, whether it's different artists, new songs. It's great. Kind of runs your horizon when it comes to music. So, I always look forward to that. Check it out if you have Spotify, and if you don't have Spotify, take a look. I think for $10 a month, you get, no ads. It's just basically straight up any song you want. It's there. So with that being said, let's go straight into the message. I'm actually pulling, you know how I have the two decks, right? So yesterday's, both of them were so good that I thought I'm going to do the other message for today. So you'll see that the date's a little bit off, but that's okay. It's all about the message, right? So the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. So again, I'm going to read that. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. And when I read this, I immediately thought of that victim mindset or victim mentality. And to me, it's becoming more and more popular these day and age. I know we've always had them, and I can give you an example of even my victim mindset back in the day. It gives a good example to kind of give you some thoughts on it too. So I'll share that example. But before we even do that, I want to read, because even if maybe you're pretty good about not having that victim mindset, maybe you struggle because you have somebody else in your family or someone that you're close to that has that mindset. And that can be a struggle to have to spend time with that person, right? If they're always negative and focusing on, oh, it's not my fault, it's their fault, and they're just constantly complaining. It is so draining. And I find that I try to even kind of stay away from that victim mindset, or if I have friends or family that are in that set, I just kind of naturally step away a bit, right? So here's some of the questions that show the victim mindset, and just something to think about. So tend to blame others for the way their life is. They think life is against them. Have trouble coping with problems in their life, and they feel powerless against them, or they kind of have that feel stuck in life and very negative attitude. So if you are in this mindset, maybe there's something really tough going on in your situation and you're like, I need the help to get out of it, let's talk. But maybe you're dealing with a friend or colleague, family member that's in that right now, and you're just like, how can I help them get out of that mindset, right? So it happens to all of us, to the best of us, or even for me, I know in my younger days, I was a little bit more, when you're younger, just not as wise. At 18, I remember, here's the example I'll give. So in Minnesota, they have a really neat funding system for kids. Like anybody can really go to college, but you're almost better off to have parents that don't have enough money or have a certain income limit, because then Minnesota will kick in and pay for your college, or they have grants. And unfortunately, me growing up, my parents made too much for me to apply for that grant. I just wasn't going to work. And so I felt at that point, I remember being frustrated because it came from me needing to apply for student loans and me having to pay. And of course my parents were going to try to help me as best they could, but with a family of 6 kids, they weren't going to be able to pay all of my college, right? So I had to come up with a solution. And I remember feeling very victimized at the time, or thinking, this is so unfair. How come, you guys don't make enough to pay my way? It just sounds so bratty repeating it, but this is what this is. It's all about growth. We've all had these thoughts and maybe little tantrums that we've thrown. And so again, I'm doing this so people can learn from my mistakes or some of my thoughts along the way. And maybe you've been there before too. But I remember being very frustrated. I even think I said to my dad, could you just lie about your income? And of course, my dad is a man of integrity. He's honest. He would never do that, nor would I expect him to. But I remember thinking, oh, I just wish we could lie and say that you made this amount so I could get the grant. But fast forward, it all worked out. And that victim mindset was not a healthy place for me to be. And luckily, I got out of it quickly and thought, all right, how can I make college work for me? Of course, I got a job. I worked through college. Took out the loans. I just paid off all my loans like 2 years ago, which was a good feeling. The interest rates were so low, so it was one of those where I'm like, not even worried about it. But with that being said, that victim mindset, you do give your power away when you think like that, right? Like, I was looking to the state to be able to just fund my college because why not, right? Well, it didn't work out that way. And so, yes, maybe it felt unfair to me at the time, but looking back, it's like it was what it was, and I just had to kind of persevere, right? I got creative and moved forward. So, with that being said, the card that I pulled kind of for the soul journey, if you are dealing with some of this right now, is impeccability. So, I love this word for many reasons. I actually remember hearing it, the first time I ever heard it was in the movie Sound of Music. I think she had said, "Kurt, you're impeccable." And I think it's a good word. We can all use a little impeccability in our life. So here's the meaning. Now is the time to be impeccable in your responsibilities, relationships, and home environment. Gather your discipline and integrity around you like a sacred cloak. No matter what it is, maintain your power. So that goes right on with this. Maintain your power, intent, and focus. Pay attention to details. Your soul wants you to know this isn't the time to be lackadaisical or whimsical, which is probably what I was doing back when I was 18, right? Wishing for something that wasn't obtainable at that time. This calls for discipline, focus, truthfulness, and certitude. Hone your skills. Don't speak unnecessarily. So me saying to my father, can you just lay on your, right? That was like the dumbest thing an 18-year-old could have ever said, but I said it. And then see what needs to be done and do it effectively, swiftly, and with a notability of heart. You'll reap immense rewards for doing this now. So yeah, like at the time I felt like it was unfair. Woe is me. Oh, and I just got out of that mindset and thought, all right, I can do this. I can pay college. It's not going to be the end of the world. It'll work out. And of course it did. It always does. All right, sending you all so much love, and I hope that message spoke to you because it did to me. All right, bye.